Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Gargoyles episode reviews. Today we are wrapping up Legion. We're about to face the Legion in Coldstone's mind. One look into his skull leaves no question why he's not the most stable reanimated gargoyle in the world. To make things infinitely worse, the virus that infected Coldstone when he downloaded the Department of Defense weapons specs is growing. It's destroying the program that created his world and keeps him functional. Goliath uses virtual reality to enter Coldstone's mind, but will the clan leader fall victim to the virus too? What will become of Coldstone, and how will Xanatos benefit from all this? If you need to catch up, read or listen to part 1 of Legion. Psycho Diver. Coldstone blasts into the sky, firing his laser randomly as the voices in his head argue. The trio spots the flying disaster. Well, that made their hunt for Goliath easier. Broadway slams into Coldstone in midair. They both fall onto the roof of the Ellis Island building. Now what? You can't lock him up because he's just like the demon-possessed man in the Bible. He can break chains. He can also shoot lasers. At Golden Cup, Matt comes out to find his toys, the headgear for recap is missing. Are you going to tell me nobody was able to somehow track him? Track Coldstone? He just got away without a trace? Okay. And nobody's more upset than they are here? He just broke into some sort of possibly military installation? Okay. Not to worry, though, as it comes with homing beacon. Of course it does. It's from Xanatos Enterprises. That's like a trademark for them. Heck, if XE made chapstick, it'd come with a tracking chip. And there's Lex hooking up VR goggles to the handy AV port on Coldstone's neck. It's like the Matrix. A blue aura surrounds Coldstone and Goliath as the deep dive starts. I assume this is due to magic in Coldstone, otherwise there's a short in the wiring somewhere. Holodeck. Goliath shoots through the portal and instantly regrets it. Ahead is a castle wyvern against a sky of purple clouds. Between Goliath and the castle is an abyss. Well, it's a yellow abyss. Wait, it gets better. Segmented mechanical cables are pounding away at the land. That'd be the virus. It's like the House on the Borderlands book by William Hope Hodgson, but without the pig monsters. If you don't know what I mean, go look it up. Actually, it's a lot like a Sarlacc from Star Wars. A flash on the highest parapet reveals Xanatos. That's a colorful suit you have there, sir. Yes, pink and blue. Alright, not really what I would expect him to wear. I think maybe the exo armor instead. He says, "You didn't think you could come here without my permission, did you?" He's quite calm for staring down a virus that's destroying the world of Coldstone. Lord of the Castle. I love the projection. Kind of a, if not a callback, then a reference later on to Puck's little dream there. We all know what I'm talking about. And there's a bridge that appears between Goliath and the castle. But it's not Xanatos. It's only a program designed to enslave Coldstone to Xanatos' will, he says. In typical David fashion, he's learned from the mistakes of others. Victor Frankenstein's mistake was to leave his creation alone, a ship adrift. That's what caused the vengeful creature to hunt down Frankenstein and his loved ones. Xanatos has given Coldstone a god to guide him or control him. It's unknown, even by Greg, if Xanatos designed it personally or if he just put his stamp of approval on it. Probably a bit of both. How much of this is due to Goliath's perception, seeing him as Xanatos? Does the program avatar really look like Xanatos? Oh, probably. But why the horrible colors of that outfit? Also, this is an amazing leap in computer tech. Xanatos has tied the mind to computer images and interfaces seamlessly. Even if most of Coldstone's brain is a computer, it still has to work with souls. Magic united them, probably operating on the concept that energy is energy, whether from science, sorcery, or souls. Still, getting magic and technology to work together, that is truly an advancement. The Ghost in the Machine explains that the virus is interfering with the control program's ability to keep Coldstone obedient and to keep the personalities in check. That's why the dominant personality changes from moment to moment now, whereas it did not during reawakening. It's as if the program is hoping Goliath will help it defeat the virus. You know, there's also a lot of programming and technology that went into a short amount of time there. I mean, unless Demona and Xanatos were working on the Coldstone project, like, since the very get-go, like, even before they woke up the clan. Which I suppose it could be. Could be. As the tentacles swipe at Goliath, the program warns Goliath that the Garg might be next. Then the program avatar blinks out of sight. If Goliath gets sucked into the virus, he will die. Will he die in real life? I don't know, because all it is those stupid VR headset goggles that basically, I don't even know how the whole VR thing works anymore in this one. We're just gonna leave that be. Outside, Elisa radios Lex to tell him the cops are on the way. Matt wants his toys back, and he's sending a SWAT team to do it. Overkill? Elisa is so done. Matt is the nerd of nerds. Now we have two clocks ticking, the virus and the cops. Devil on your shoulder. The female gargoyle recognizes Goliath and meets him in the battlements. Goliath gets excited and hugs her. Oops, that's not going to look good. Above them, the program and the bearded Garg are whispering sweet betrayals into Coldstone's ear. Something tells me you're getting played, Coldstone. They've actually got him between them. So he's got a devil on each shoulder. She explains to Goliath that since Coldstone is made up of parts of three gargoyles, their souls are now trapped inside and vying for control of the body. According to Greg, as a kid he watched a TV movie of Frankenstein. It had a scene where the voices of the creature's body parts spoke. They're different. They're from different people. It made an impression, I guess. Side note, so does this mean the soul always stays stuck in the Garg's corpse, or does it mean that Demona used the body parts to call the souls back? Is it the only way to revive Coldstone? I don't really see why it was even necessary to do the whole Coldstone project, other than the fact that Xanatos probably thought it was intriguing and Demona wanted revenge. Seems like a whole lot of work. Coldstone knocks Goliath from the parapet. He manages to grab the portcullis, but the cables wrap around him. They pull him down, but Orange Female catches him. This rather confirms Coldstone's belief that she and Goliath are lovers. Coldstone glides down to deal with Goliath, but the female stands up for him. She cites how untrustworthy the evil-looking gargoyle is, and how he tried to turn Coldstone against Goliath 1,000 years ago. According to Greg, while you never hear the three gargoyles' names on screen, the writers call them Iago, the bearded antagonist, Desdemona, female, and Othello, Coldstone. It's really hard to get into Iago's head. He's probably bat-crap crazy after all he's been through. Dying, being resurrected, finding himself trapped in a body with two other Gargs. Like Maggie Reed after her transformation, he's clinging to the scrap of normalcy he has, his lust for Desdemona. He's diverting himself by tormenting Othello. While they waffle, the Xanatos program and Iago merge. It's weird, but then again, this whole VR and virus world is beyond weird. Apparently, they think this is going to help them stop the virus and get the girl. Unless you merge with an antiviral program, you're probably SOL. The logic of the AI is interesting, though. They want Othello and Desdemona to merge as well. Again, weird. Isn't it bad enough being in one body together? What would happen if they merged anyway? Could they merge? A computer program and a soul might simulate merging, I guess. But three souls merging? I don't understand. I don't understand any of this. Why does Iago look like the outward Coldstone body? Othello, Goliath, and Desdemona would like to keep their souls, thank you very much. It's a good call, but Hybrid Weirdo absorbs the castle and grabs Desdemona. This is way worse than King Kong. Othello and Goliath don't stand a chance against the giant's claw. Desdemona, however, sinks her teeth into the hand he's holding her with. That works. Somehow. I mean, just tiny, tiny little teeth. I don't know. As the three gargoyles fly around the giant, the cables wrap around Iago / the program and drag it into the abyss. Well, that was easy. Super easy, barely an inconvenience. Outside, the clan's doing its best to divert the horde of cops that are swarming toward Ellis. It's just a slowdown tactic, though. Goliath can't do anything to help Othello and Desdemona. He can't stop the virus. Again, Gargoyles shows its edge by not handing the protags a happy ending. Othello and Des reassure Goliath that they will be fine here. Even if they are not, then they'll be together forever. They fly above the tentacle/cables. Goliath agrees. What else can he do? Time's running out for him. He zaps back to the real world. And there's the tentacles swiping underneath him. How high were the writers and animators, seriously, when they wrote this thing? I don't know. Higher than Othello and Desdemona there. Hold up. So these two souls are just going to glide around in cyberspace forever? What happens if the virus eats them? They're still souls, so having the program that links them to the Coldstone body destroyed would free them? Or it might make it even worse, as they'd be locked in the flesh without any ability to control the body as a whole. What happens if the body is totally destroyed, like with a nuke? Would that set them free? Or is magic the only thing that can do it now? Greg didn't give us any insight, so we are left to wonder. Goliath and the rest of the clan carts Coldstone back to the Clocktower. Oh, and here's the cop fleet. Just in time, too, because Matt and Elisa show up. Matt ditches the SWAT team and bounds off on his own to find whatever stole his glasses. Why did you mobilize half of the NYPD if you're not going to use them? What he finds is a rat. Why there's a rat on the roof checking out goggles is as much of a mystery to me as is the rest of this episode. Neither Matt nor Elisa have their weapons out. Tag time. Oh, thank goodness we have a Xanatos tag ending. Owen brings the recap goggles into Xanatos' throne room and hands them over. The Scarab Corp R&D team, quote, confiscated, unquote, the wreckage from the cops. Haha, nice wording, Owen. It was easy for them, considering they supplied it to the PD in the first place. That had to amuse the trickster David, eh? There's Owen handing it over. In the background is the wall, a door, and the plant. That plant bothers me for some reason. It's kind of random. Recap's taser probes, downloaded the design spec files when it shot Coldstone. Nifty. It's like smartphone's smart share beam. This was back when I had the earlier version of the LGs, so a G2 and a G3. You just sort of like get them near each other. There's also the ones that you tap together. I'm sure they're different now, but I never used the feature in the first place. You know what would have been cooler? If Coldstone just sent it wirelessly or beamed it to a satellite. But I guess that's too traceable. Anyway, it's hilarious that Xanatos used the cops to steal files for him. I see that time in jail for stealing design spec files, no less. Really made him change his ways. Nice try, Elisa. Sadly, R&D wasn't able to salvage the weapon specs. From what I've seen so far, though, Xanatos Enterprises is centuries ahead of the government's tech. Remember those plasma weapons in Deadly Force, the X of Armor in the Edge? What about the Steel Clan? Oh, then there's the Xanatos Cyborg in Leader of the Pack? Yeah. My rationalization for his interest is that he wanted to use it for blackmail or maybe bragging rights, or maybe he just wanted to see how far along they were. Forget the defense specs, Xanatos says. He is infatuated with the virus. It's the most powerful weapon I know of. Okay. Nobody's ever said what makes it so great. Oh, yeah, it destroys programs. I get that. Many viruses do that. So it's a data nuke. Just like the freeware I download, then use to wipe my laptop before I reinstall my OS. Why is the virus able to escape antivirus programs? Why don't advanced heuristics affect it? Xanatos says, chilling like a villain, looking at the spoils of scheming on his big old CRT monitor. Well, I'm sure there's a great explanation. I'm looking forward to seeing how the virus comes into play later. 2020 moment. Yeah, that's what I thought when I first watched the episode. Turns out the virus never comes up again. They could have used it on the nanomachines in the Dreamtime episode. They could have used it in Outfoxed on Cybiotics robots. But no. Skeletons in the closet. The clan stashes Coldstone's vegetable body in a closet in the Clocktower. I am not making this up. Wonder when he/they will be back. There's inside the Clocktower. It's a pretty cool design in there. You got the 3 faces of the clock. I'm assuming there's probably another one on the other side there. And the clock mechanism in the middle. Well, I guess it's better than leaving him in the middle of the floor. Okay, final thoughts. Where do I start? This episode doesn't give closure. It opens a can of worms. Now, not only are 2 souls trapped in a purgatory, And spoiler, actually 3, Iago didn't die. Unspoiler. But we have 100 questions about the Gargoyles' afterlife and Demona's necromancy spell. It was nice to see some different Gargoyles, though. Learning that there was strife in the clan was refreshing, too. They're not a special species where everybody gets along great. They're just like humans. Xanatos using Coldstone and recap for the files seemed, well, improbable. I chalk it up to there being a high-ranking officer in the force who pushed recap to be used. What was Xanatos' contingency plan if recap didn't work? Yeah, or if Matt didn't use the taser prongs, or if they just didn't work, or if Coldstone completely destroyed the little robot. I also figured he used Coldstone because it was dramatic and fun, and it would involve the Gargoyles, his playmates. But, he didn't get to directly play with them, so that's a little less fun. What did you think of the ep? Comment here or on the blog. Tune in next week for Lighthouse in the Sea of Time. It's about Hudson and books. More importantly, Macbeth is back. So remember to like, share, subscribe, do all the things. Thank you so much for watching, and we will catch you in the next one.